What's up, YouTube? My name is Jamel Brown, your local realtor with Watson Realty Corp, bringing you the first video of my brand new series called Interview Jacks. This is a series where I'll interview local business owners and entrepreneurs in and around the Jacksonville area. Today, we have Kevin Noel. Kevin Noel is the vice president with Watson Realty Corp and is the managing broker at the Oakleaf Plantation office. Kevin, pleasure having you, my
Thank
man.
you so much for having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
This is a hefty resume.
I appreciate it.
Crazy.
I appreciate it. I'm still going, still trying to do better and better each and every year. So,
Yeah. How are you able to fit all of that into your schedule?
time management, I guess, is just extremely important. You gotta be able to manage everything that you got going on and commit to whatever you do. I think that's very important. You got to make sure you don't overcommit, and when you actually commit to something, that you stick with it. And just blocking out that time and making sure things get done.
Wow. And what chose you to go down the entrepreneur path?
I think I've always had an interest in being an entrepreneur ever since I was little. You've always I've had some family members, family friends that have done it and been very successful. So that planted the seed early for me. But I think also, being your own boss and having unlimited earning potential. And I think that's what you get when you're an entrepreneur is you you get the best of both worlds. You get to be able to build something, work with others, grow yourself, and also earn as much money as you see fit. That's the great thing about real estate is that you get what you put into it, and if you work extremely hard, the sky's the limit.
It's got to be scary though, because even though you have that unlimited potential, you do have to take into account some type of risk. Is that correct or no?
Oh yeah, no, I think there's risk in anything that you do in life. And the one thing being an entrepreneur is you got to have self-discipline and you got to be motivated and self-motivated. No one's really pushing you or holding your hand. You got to go out and do it. When you're the boss or or whatnot, it's all on you to make things happen. And if you don't make the money, you're not going to be able to eat and pay all your bills. And you got to be able to have that determination, that focus to make it happen. So I think you got to just be really committed and hold yourself accountable, because if you don't, you can be in a world of trouble. And there's a lot of risk involved. Obviously, you got to put a lot of money out being an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of risks, but I think the benefit definitely outweighs the risk. And if there wasn't any risk, everybody would do it. And it makes it that much sweeter at the end. Yeah. When you're successful. You were able to accomplish so much and get over so many humps.
Yes, I can only imagine, because a man of your stature, correct me if I'm wrong, that's 5 years starting from the bottom and working way all the way to the top. That's an impressive feat.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the top, but working my way towards that. I've been very blessed with a great amount of mentors and coaches. I'm one to always say that no one's self-made. I think you all have people in your life that have helped you get to where you are and will continue to help you get to where you are. So I'm extremely blessed and thankful for those folks. And extremely blessed to be where I'm at, and I hope to continue to be better and better. I think you just try to get 1% better each and every day. Yes. And do the best you can. But I don't think I'm anywhere near the top, but I hope to be there one day.
I like that. It's like what my dad used to tell me when I was younger. It takes a village to raise a child. And that's literally what it is in this business, because it is a people's business.
Absolutely.
Huge people's business. What skill sets do you think helped you become a good business owner?
Yeah, I think we've touched on a few of them. Time management is huge. Having that laser focus on whatever you're doing. But for me, the first and foremost thing is communication. Really, in any industry, any business, you've got to be able to communicate and articulate yourself with your customers, your clients, your business partners. You got to have those strong communication skills. So for me, it has to be communication. You've got to be able to get your point across. You've got to be great on communication. In our business, people expect things ASAP. And if you're not able to follow up and have those superior communication skills, you're going to fall behind the rest. So I'm a real big, as you can see, I'm real big in communication. I try to teach all of my agents and anybody that I interact with, you got to be, perfect on that communication. If you're not, there's way too much competition out there that the people are going to go elsewhere. If you're not able to communicate with them, it's going to leave a really bad taste in their mouth, and then you're going to lose them.
I can only imagine, especially with how turbulent the market's been. Communication, setting expectations, very
Setting
key.
expectations extremely, extremely
Yeah.
important. Yep, especially with the way the market is today. It's kind of flipped from what it was earlier this year and in 2021 and 2020. So setting expectations and having those strong communication skills are extremely important.
Now, I like how you dress communications, setting expectations, huge component in being a business owner. For the audience, because some of our audience viewers may not know, but being a real estate agent and then being a real estate broker is different. What was the mindset change? Because obviously, as a broker, you're still having communication as key, but did your mindset change in regards to how you operate your business when you moved up on that ladder?
Yes and no. I think a lot of the same principles are in play as an agent or as a broker. I think I had to switch the thinking of a little bit of a more macro scale of looking at over all my agents. I've currently got 43 agents that report to me, and I gotta train them up and help them as best as possible, and just put them in position to have success. So I really had to hone in my training skills and leadership skills to really provide value to them. Because if they don't believe in me and I don't provide value to them,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to want to be with me. But it's the same principle as when I was an agent. My customers were my buyers and my sellers. Now my customers are more of my agents.
I see.
I'm still actively buying and selling real estate, both myself and with my customers. I think it's extremely important to be in the trenches, to keep learning and evolving and getting better and better each and every day. Real estate is changing basically on a daily basis these days. And if I'm not out there in the trenches with my people, how the heck am I going to be able to provide value to them and to train them up to be successful agents in our marketplace? So I kind of have the best of both worlds of still being an agent while
Mm-hmm.
also being that managing broker and being responsible to train my agents up and to put them in position to have success.
I like that because you have to be able to walk the walk if you're going to be able to talk the talk.
Absolutely. Yep.
And just in case for some of our viewers who don't know the difference between an agent and a broker, can you give us a quick synopsis of what the difference is?
Sure. Well, there's kind of many different layers to that. When a person gets their real estate license, they join their boards and they become a realtor. At that point in time, they're an agent, and they're just working with customers, buyers, sellers, to help facilitate transactions. Then once you have 2 years of experience, you get your broker's license. At that point in time, you can be a broker associate,
Okay.
where you're still doing the same agent tasks. You've just got a higher level of knowledge to help your customers and put them in better positions and to have more knowledge. At that point in time, you can open up your own company and be a managing broker, or you can get hired on as a managing broker. And that's kind of the camp that I'm in, that latter group of being a managing broker for the Oakleaf office with Watson Realty Corp. As I said, I still have the functions of an agent and a broker associate as I'm still in the field
Mm-hmm.
working and enhancing my knowledge and being the best agent I can be. But also, when you're a managing broker, you have additional responsibilities of ensuring compliance with FREC, DPBR, making sure all my agents are doing things the right way, training them up the right way, ensuring that all my direct reports are in good position, and that are being able to perform all their job functions and whatnot. So many, many different layers to being a managing broker that you don't get when you're just an agent. When you're just an agent, you're your own CEO. You're just running your kind of small little business with just you.
Mm-hmm.
When you add on, in my case, 43 agents, that's a lot other. Then you got other direct reports, being with the mortgage company or being with the title company, admin, assistant, those type of things. It becomes a lot. You got to look at expenses. You got to look at the P&L every month. You got to recruit, train, as I mentioned, plus all my other duties that I do with NEFAR or MLS. So
Wow.
it does add up to be a lot, but I just think it's great. I love what I do. And I think that's absolutely key. No matter what you do in life, I think you've got to enjoy it. You've got to have a passion for it, because if you don't, you're going to get burned out. And who the heck wants to do something for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and not enjoy it? And one day we're all going to have responsibilities like children, a family, and you gotta enjoy what you do. I'm a really, really big believer in that. My dad's always told me that to me. It's not about how much money you make. It's about enjoying what you do. Money is kind of just a byproduct of doing what you love
Mm-hmm.
well.
I like that. I like that because with you having to focus on your passions, the money will come. Because when you're passionate about something, you're given the motivation to prevent that burnout that could occur.
Yep, absolutely. And I know that firsthand. My first job was in transportation and logistics. I did well there. I started out as a night operations person, working the graveyard shift. I worked my way up to being a vice president with a transportation logistics company here in Jacksonville that was based out of Cleveland, Ohio. And I made great money, but I didn't have a passion for it. And every day driving home from work was like, man, what am I doing with my life?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't fun. And as I mentioned about my dad, he's in that space and has done really well for himself, but he always preaches to me, it's not about the money. It's about doing what you love. And, I took that to heart in 2017. I got my real estate license. I saved up 2 years worth of living expenses. And I said, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go full time into real estate. And if I make it, great. If I don't, at least I can try. I never can look back and say, man, I really wish I would have given that a try. I can always go back into that other field. Thankfully, I'm not going to have to at this point. I feel really thankful that I've been successful in real estate, but I knew I had to take that leap of faith to at least try it, and I've always loved real estate. I remember being on the computer back in middle school and high school, looking up houses. My family moved around a lot when I was a kid. I always went with my parents to look at houses. I have some very fond, vivid memories of being in the backseat of realtors' cars, looking at houses, and I just kind of always knew from that early age it'd be so cool to kind of do that for a living, you know. I think that really set me up for being in real estate at a young age, and that's what really made me want to take that leap of faith in 2017. And I'm just so thankful I did, and I have no regrets. And I think everyone, you got to find your passion. You got to find what you love.
That's a beautiful thing. Very beautiful thing. And it's great because being able to talk to entrepreneurs, local business owners, we can see that from each person, it's all about passion.
Yep.
They're in that business because they're very passionate about it. I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, when you got into the space back in 2017 and you started working and you developed a reputation for yourself and were able to get a lot of transactions, would you say that your view of the world kind of changed when you became an entrepreneur? Or has it stayed somewhat the same as when you were working at your previous job?
Maybe a little bit has changed. I think one thing I've learned, you got to have thick skin in this world, especially being in the real estate space. You're going to get told no a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to just move on. Keep your head held high, be positive, never get down. We always say in real estate, it's a roller coaster. You've got a lot of ups and downs, but it's about staying as balanced as possible and always staying as positive as possible. No, you're not going to get anywhere being negative or being down. No one's going to feel sorry for you. There's tons of problems in this world, and you got to just keep your head up high and work towards that goal of being successful.
I like that. It's like how when a lot of people face adversity, they have to be able to have the courage to continue moving forward. And from real estate to your local business owner, you do have to have thick skin because you're going to face those challenges, those tribulations that occur to you. That's actually fantastic because I couldn't agree more with my job, especially me being in the military, having to have that thick skin day in and day out.
You know it better than any of us. I can't imagine being in the military. I give so many props to you guys because I don't think I could do it, to be honest with you. And I'm just so thankful and blessed for our military. And I just can't say thank you enough for your service and what you all do for our great country.
Oh,
So
thank
thank you
you.
so much.
I appreciate the support. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, do you have a person or organization that has been the most influential to you in going into the business ownership route? or the slash entrepreneurship route?
I think I've already kind of hit on it. My
You
first
do.
and foremost is my dad.
Dad.
He's done extremely well for himself, and I'm extremely proud for what he's been able to do. He grew up in a 2-bedroom house with 6 people. They had 4 kids and my grandma and grandpa in a really tough, low income neighborhood in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And really, built himself up to being a C-suite executive today. Held many different leadership and executive positions in the transportation and logistics space, has given back a lot to foundations and other organizations in that space to help the next generation. And he's just an average good dude that always just, has always told me, do the right thing, be a good person, be positive, don't worry about money, just do good in this life. Life's short, you've got to enjoy it, and you just do the right thing. And so he's kind of my hero. Try to be cliche or corny, but if I had to pick one person or one organization, it would definitely be my dad. For all the great lessons and stuff he's taught me. And just kind of being there as a great role model for someone to how to live life, and hopefully I can be like him one day is kind of my thought process. So
I'm sure your dad is very proud of you.
thank you.
He's going to be watching this like, that's my son.
I hope
That's
so.
him.
I hope so.
Well, before we wrap up, Kevin, I have one more very important question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You sure?
Yes, I'm ready.
It's going to be a hard one.
Okay.
What is your favorite Disney movie and why?
Disney movie. Okay. A lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones out there. Does Toy Story? Toy Story is Pixar, isn't
Of course,
it?
Disney Pixar.
Yeah,
Yes,
same thing.
yes.
I would think Toy Story. I've always liked like Tim Allen and what's Woody's
That's going to be
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yes,
Tom Hanks
Tom
and
Hanks.
Tim Allen. Those 2 great characters. But I really like because it's all about the team. I think they always get thrown a lot of crazy problems, and they all kind of have to band together, all the toys together to reach one common goal. And I think that's kind of what about businesses in general and being an entrepreneur is, as I said earlier, it's not just you. You've always got to have a team around you. I'm a big believer in having the best team possible. If I have the best team, I can conquer anything. And it's all about pulling together to reach that one common goal. I like to surround myself with the best and the brightest. I like to be the smartest. I like to be the dumbest person in the room. I wanted to surround myself with as smartest people as possible and the best people as possible, so we can all just reach that one common goal together. And I think that's what the Toy Story movies are typically always about. Is you're throwing a problem or throwing an objective, and how are we going to conquer that and reach that goal together as one. And that's how I lead my life and how I lead my my businesses. Is how are we going to be the best that we can be together as one.
I like that. That's deep. Thinking of teamwork made me think of Toy Story 3 where the Claw's about to rescue them before they went into the fire.
Yep.
Almost cried.
Those are some good movies. But yeah, no, good question. There's a lot of good ones, but I think that one would be at the top of my list.
I think you chose wisely.
Thank you.
How can people get to know more about you, Kevin?
So you can follow me on Instagram. Kevin T. Noel is my handle on Instagram. And then Facebook is K Noel Realtor. So you can see kind of what I'm up to on real estate wise and just in general. I'm real big into sports. We love our sports. Playing golf, playing tennis, watching football, basketball. So a lot of good stuff on there. And then you can also see what's going on with our foundation. I'm real big in my family's foundation, the Noel Soccer Foundation. We love to give back to those that are less fortunate in the Jacksonville and Philadelphia communities by providing scholarships, grants, and donations to soccer clubs that really need the money to keep youth sports going for those kids that can't afford it. I'm sure growing up with youth sports, it's not cheap. There's a lot of things that cost money. Everything costs money. With inflation these days, it's prices of everything are rising. So,
yes, sir.
And I think sports are so valuable to teach great lessons to help people grow as individuals and to help them in business or anything in the future. And I can't imagine not being able to play team sports when I was when I was a young child. So we just try to raise as much money as possible and give back to those communities that are less fortunate than us. So that's a big passion of mine. And if you want to check out that, noelsoccerfoundation.org, and we have those on our Instagram channel, or Instagram as well, Noel Soccer Foundation. So.
Perfect. And audience, we'll go ahead and we'll have that down in the description for you to be able to follow all those social links. If you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much. And if you found value from today's interview, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up and click that subscribe button for more value-add content. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take care.
Take care.